Hi, everyone. This is Rachel Zabonik, editor of Club Solutions Magazine. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us for today's webinar. Presenting is Tammy Bile, the Director of Marketing for Club OS, and she's going to be talking to us about marketing, your secret to attract and retain members. If you have any questions, please feel free to send those through during the webinar, and if we have time, we should be able to answer those at the end. Tammy, are you ready to take it away?
I am. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to join us. And today we're going to talk about marketing, and I like to call it your secret weapon to attract and retain members. Just first of all, thought I would give you a little background on myself. I am the Director of Marketing for Club OS. I've been in business in sales and marketing for over 25 years. I've had the pleasure to work for some of the greatest brands in the world, such as AT&T and Lucent Technologies and FedEx. I've also worked for smaller companies that were private equity backed, as well as owning my own business. I have a BS degree and an MBA from Penn State University. So let's get started today. So first of all, I thought I would start off, and I think it's really important to take a look at the shift that has really occurred in marketing and sales. And what you see here is a marketing and sales funnel, and if you take a look at the left-hand side, we're talking about then and shifts that have occurred. That wonderful thing that we all use and we couldn't live without called the internet has changed many things in the way sales and marketing are conducted, both with the consumer and even in the B2B realm. But taking a look at things, when we looked at what was the very top of what we call a funnel, it was starting with awareness of what it is that you are selling or what services it is you provide. And in this case, in the fitness business, whether you own a studio or whether you own a gym, it really is the awareness of somebody wanting to come in and wanting to participate. So going from awareness to interest and consideration, really more intent, and then evaluation and actually purchasing, meaning actually deciding to become a member or taking classes at your studio. But years ago, what would have happened at the top of the funnel, marketing was responsible for that, and that was what we knew of as branding and advertising. The good old advertising that we would have seen anywhere, whether it would have been on TV, whether you would have seen a billboard or heard a radio ad, which we know as mass marketing. Creating awareness and interest in what it is that you have. And then sales took over. Sales would come in as the prospect would be going through consideration and their intent and evaluation and then finally purchase. Today with the internet, and we're going to talk more about that, this has shifted dramatically. And if you look at the right-hand side as we go through that funnel, now today marketing is really taking that prospect all the way down and through to evaluation, and then sales comes in and there's actually a purchase made. And the reason this is because on the internet, most people, and we know 89% of people go online and they look things up long before you even know they're interested in what it is you have and what it is you're offering. So what does this really mean if you are the customer? I really want to talk about the customer journey because it is a journey today. If you look at those same segments, meaning awareness, and looking at the top of the slide here, awareness, consideration, and once they purchase, and then what happens after they purchase. Today, what happens after the purchase, or in this case, joining your studio or gym, what happens after that is every bit as much important in retaining them and keeping them in helping you grow your business. And then taking it even further and having them be an advocate for your business, meaning telling others and getting referrals. And we're going to talk about all of that today and how marketing really helps with that. And one of the things I want to talk about here with the customer journey, this may seem like it's quite a maze, but the fact is this is really what a prospect goes through before they actually make a decision. And we know that on average, people see or they have at least 13 touches before they actually become a consumer or they actually make a purchase. So if you look at this, and you think about your own marketing and the things you may be doing, or maybe you're not doing yet, you can take a look at this and see all the different things in different ways that somebody could interact with your company or your brand long before they even make a purchase, and then what does happen after they make that purchase. So the point is there are very many different touch points here, and you need to be top of mind, which means you need to be out there and be getting your information in their hands to turn them into clients or members. So how do you really do that? And once again, looking at the internet, We have this in what we call inbound marketing today. I think everybody knows what Google is. We all use Google. Whatever it is, you Google an answer to something, a trivia question, you want to find a restaurant, you Google it. You want to be sure about some statistic, you Google it, or you might ask Alexa. But the fact is, we're all used to now going to the internet for information. So this today in marketing is what we call a push-pull strategy, meaning pulling people in with inbound marketing. And today that means your lead generation engine really begins online. And the reason it does is statistics show us that 93% of purchases start with a search engine Google. Meaning, I'll say that again because I think that's really important. 93% of purchases start with an online search. Somebody Googles it. So what does that mean? That means if somebody's Googling gyms or yoga or kickboxing or bar studios, whatever, the point is you want your company to come up in that search engine. And that's what we know of as search engine optimization and search engine marketing, along with pay-per-click, meaning ads that if you click on those ads, you pay only when someone clicks, meaning and it goes through to a landing page. These are all inbound marketing strategies that people use today, and they're very important. One of the biggest things with inbound marketing is your website. I know every business today, a website is almost like having a business card was many years ago, meaning everybody had a business card. Today, having a website is a must because it really is the window into your business and your organization. The other great thing here is talking about video. I can't express the importance of video today for several reasons. Number one, most people don't want to read. And if they do read, they're actually skimming, meaning they're looking at things, they're looking at bullet points, they're looking at captions. They may not be reading really a lot of text. But with video, people want to be shown something, and video lends itself very nicely for the fitness industry. Obviously, you can show and you can demonstrate things a lot more effectively than you can actually write about them. And of course, people like to see themselves too, and we'll talk about social media a bit more. But the fact is here, inbound marketing is so important because today, as I said, most people go to the internet first. That's one of their first interactions, and they're there long before you may know that they're interested. So let's talk a little bit more about customer acquisition, meaning gaining new customers. How do you do that? How do you gain new customers? Taking a look at this information here, channels, and we do call them channels, that are used most for customer acquisition, first of all, is a website. So here again, it shows the importance of your website. 89% of the people go to a website first. They at least just want to see, what does your place look like? Who owns it? What's going on? What do you offer? Do you have any special offers? And we're going to talk about offers and promotion in just a few slides here. But the point is, people do go look and they check out your website. And it really is your window to the world. Now, you actually do have brick and mortar as well, too, right? You have a studio or you have a gym, you have a fitness center. But the fact is, people do go online and look online first to find you, and they make decisions based on that. The next thing is, when you look at your website is, and we always say this in marketing, content is king. And what we mean by that, content is both on your website and in your social media channels, is, are you putting things out there that people want to read about? Are you being helpful? Are you giving them information that's important to them? Are you helping them in a way that you're being looked at as a thought leader, that they're looking to you for information? That's what we call creating stickiness in marketing. When people are coming to you and looking at you as the leader in whatever it is that you're offering. The next thing looking at when we talk about channels here is email. I know today, and we'll talk about texting in just a bit as well, but reaching directly to an individual, rather through email or texting, but it comes in at 81%. So when you think about what you may be doing to engage both the people that are already members or people coming into your facility, as well as those prospects that you're trying to get to be members, how are you communicating with them and how often? And we'll talk about that in a bit. And then the next thing are social media sites. As we all know, people are really on social media. We'll talk about the different social media sites and what that means, but 72%, almost three-fourths of people out there use social media to either find out information about you or take a look at your facility or see who may be there. But the fact is, social media, and we'll talk about social media's impact here in our next slide. But those are the three things in looking at the channels and how you can gain more prospects: your website, through email and texting, and social media. Let's move then and let's talk about social media. Let's get social. One of the biggest things about social media is it really provides you an exponential reach. So for example, just today, I wanted to get some information out, and I'm doing some things business to business. Myself on LinkedIn, I have over 2,000 contacts. So when I post something on LinkedIn, I'm just one person, but I'm putting that information out there to over 2,000 people. So now if you think about that and think about the members you have and how many members you have, think about the exponential reach they have for you. And talking about them being advocates for you. And that's the way you should be looking at it. And that's the way you can really, really leverage social media, is getting your members engaged and involved. And we'll talk about how you build that engagement. One of the biggest questions that I always get is, what social media channels should I use? Do I need to be everywhere? And I say, no, you don't need to be everywhere. You need to be where your members are. So that goes back to, though, knowing who your members are, because we also know this is generational. So, for example, we know that the baby boomers use Facebook much more than the millennials. We know that the millennials are using Instagram and Twitter more than they're using Facebook. LinkedIn is still very much a B2B social media platform, then and should be used in that way. Pinterest is a way. This is also another big social media channel, but we know that their Pinterest audience, over 80% is female. So that's fine, especially if the female audience is who you're targeting. Okay, Pinterest may be a channel you should be using. YouTube, we also know YouTube drives a lot of SEO, meaning search engine marketing. And if you have videos, you should really be leveraging YouTube, because YouTube really helps drive SEO ranking and can really help you come up in those search engines. So the point is here, you need to know who your audience is and where they are. You don't need to be everywhere. So taking a look at social media, the other thing I would like to talk about is the fact of online reviews. Online reviews drive, once again, it really drives a lot of engagement, but online reviews, both positive and negative. Online reviews should be looked at as a way for you to really engage. This is really a true, honest feedback, too, on your business, and you should really embrace both. So one of the biggest things I do when I buy anything or when I want to join anywhere, I go online and look at their reviews. What reviews do they have? Do they have recent reviews? If they have good reviews, did you interact? So keep in mind, even when you have those great reviews, you want to interact. You want to go out there and say, thanks so much for, providing this feedback. We're glad you had a great experience. We work hard to provide that to all of our members. You really want to show that you are engaging and that you are reading and looking at this. And then also, needless to say, more importantly, if you have negative reviews, you want to address them. This is really a window into and taking a look at what things in your business you might be able to do better, because these things do matter and people do make decisions based on what they see on online reviews. So you really want to be sure that you're aware of what's going on in your business in that way, because online reviews truly can make or break you. So that's the social media realm. So let's take a look, and one of the things you can do on social media and use social media for is to put out there some offers and promotions. One of the biggest things when we look at offers and promotions, and I always like to say, people don't necessarily buy because you may be providing an offer or promotion, but the fact is, if they are interested and they may be looking at you or they may be looking at your competitor, this may be a way that they select you over your competitor or over that fitness center down the street. So the point here is, and what I want to make, we all seen them, we all use them, but please, you can get creative with this. I mean, online, I've seen everything from 60% off with Groupon to, put $1 down today, the remainder of the month is free. Get your first month free with a 12-month membership. It might be something, and another way to get referrals is if you bring a friend in and you both sign up, you get 50% off. Get very creative with these things and use your social media to put your offers and promotions out there because they are important. They do help people move off the dime. We just came off of this week, we just had one of the biggest promotion days of the year in Cyber Monday. Some of you may have used Cyber Monday as a way to promote your facilities, but it's a great way to get in on holiday purchases, and hopefully some of you took advantage of that. But please always remember that offers and promotions in and of themselves don't actually get people to sign up, but they get people to move and they motivate people to move that are interested in your facility and in your memberships. Let's go on then, and I've talked a lot, and I just mentioned one of the things that you can do from perspective is referral programs. This is one of the things that are one of the most effective ways to drive new membership is through a referral program, and in two ways. One might be internally, and what I mean by internally, meaning with your own employees. So with your own employees, if you give them a program, if they get people to sign up, you might give them some type of a bonus. You might give them a gift card, whatever. But the point is, keep in mind, your own employees should be some of your biggest loyal advocates for the facility. So reward them for that because it can be very, very effective. And then, of course, the referral programs direct to the consumer, direct to prospects. And referral programs can be various, various different offerings. So, for example, it can be, if you bring a friend in and get a friend to sign up, you might get you might get a free month. Or it might be if you bring a friend in, you can renew at a discounted rate, whatever. You understand, but the point is ask for referrals. I think this is one of the most important things, and so many times I see people just don't ask. And it's something that we kind of forget, but keep in mind those members that you do have that do keep coming, they are your biggest source of new business. Because at the end of the day, referrals and word of mouth is still the best marketing that you can ever have. It's the most cost effective, and these people usually remain loyal because they're coming because somebody recommended them. So don't forget about, and you can hold competitions. These can be competitions even amongst your members. It can be competition amongst employees, but get creative. Have some fun with it. And don't be afraid to give away a little bit of cash or maybe give away some free memberships or whatever. They really do work. And I like to say when you talk about referral programs so many times, the fact is this doesn't really cost you money because you don't really give anything away until somebody else signs up, meaning you gain a member. So that's always the best way to drive new business. So those are referral programs. The other thing I would say about referral programs, if you are communicating with your members through email or through text or even through signs or anything like that in your facility, don't forget to always put it in there. Just ask for a referral. Just very simply say, tell a friend about us. Or next time you come, bring a friend, bring a relative, bring your kids, bring your neighbor, whatever. Just always plant that seed. Always be putting that out there because it does work and it does drive business. Let's go next then in the same vein, but talking about other partnerships and other businesses in your community. This is one of the areas, too, that I think sometimes if you just put a little creative thought behind, this can really be very lucrative for you. Think about community partnerships. What other businesses in your area are targeting the same people you're targeting? So, for example, if you're thinking about the fitness business, go online and Google companies in your area that maybe have wellness programs. Companies that provide wellness programs to their employees are probably more likely to maybe even give them a stipend or something toward a gym membership. Or obviously they're showing interest in people wanting to be healthy and people wanting to stay active and things. So look for companies like that that you may be able to partner with. Look at healthcare companies. There are many healthcare companies out there. See who's in your area who may be offering gym memberships or whatever. These are businesses that you want to be sure you're partnering with because they can be a great source of referrals for you. Other community groups, they might be church groups. There may be groups, for example, schools and colleges. Many universities and schools, community colleges, they have fitness centers. They may have centers, but they also might want to take advantage of classes or personal training, or you might be able to send someone into the college or university that you can have some type of partnership that will help you drive membership. Restaurants, this may sound a little silly, but restaurants that might be focusing on healthy eating or organic eating or, just much more health, a healthy menu. These might be people that you might be able to partner with and do some type of symbiotic program there. So don't overlook those other businesses in your community that can be great partners for you, that you might be able to provide some things to your membership that's a value add, and vice versa. These things go over very well, and they're great. They're very local, but they really do help drive business. So that's really, we talked about now how to get new members, how to drive new business, how to grow that top line revenue. But I do want to turn our attention to, and this is something that many times gets overlooked as well, but it's just as important when talking about growing your business. And it's really important in the fitness industry, because the attrition rate in the fitness industry is actually one of the highest that I've ever seen. But retention is once you get that member, once you get that person coming in, how do you keep them? And I love this little cartoon here, this little graphic, because if you look at it, and if you think back to one of the first slides I showed of the customer journey, getting a new customer can be pretty involved, but keeping an old one is a bit more, it should be a bit easier. And if you take a look, according to Bain Company, it costs 7 times more to attract a new customer than it does to keep them. And if you retain just 5% more of your customers annually, it generates 125% more in profits. So let's talk about retaining your membership base, because here are some of the statistics. So for example, we're going to have coming up here now in just about a month, we're going to have the New Year's, and we all know what happens. Lots of people making New Year's resolutions, right? They're going to eat healthier. They're going to exercise more. They're going to join a gym, right? Hopefully we get these people. But here's the real statistic on it, according to U.S. News. 80% of New Year's resolutions are abandoned by February. I'm going to repeat that. 80% of New Year's resolutions are abandoned by February, according to U.S. News. So if you think about this, even though we're going to have the January rush and we're going to sign up lots of people, right? How do we keep them? How do we keep them engaged? How do you keep them coming to your classes? How do you keep them coming into your studio? So that's one of the things in talking about retention. One of the ways we can do this is what we call cross-selling and upselling. And we call this creating stickiness in marketing, meaning you want that member to think of you as such an important part of their life that they wouldn't think of not joining again, or they wouldn't think of renewing their membership. And nobody did cross-selling and upselling better than McDonald's. Okay? We all remember if you went to McDonald's, you asked for a hamburger, and it's actually part of our language today, and we all kind of laugh about it, but it's the old phrase of, do you want fries with that? Right? It's like, I'll have a burger, you want fries? That's cross-selling. You came in for a hamburger, but they sold you fries too. Okay? So that's cross-selling. And then upselling is, okay, you got the hamburger and the fries, now they're going to sell you the whole meal deal, and they're going to supersize it. You want the supersize with that, you want the ice cream with it, you get the whole meal deal, and of course you get the toy with it for your kids, right? So it's very basic, but it's so important. So how can you take that same concept? How can you take the cross-selling and the upselling and apply it to your fitness center or your studio? So there are things. So for example, if you have things and if you have point of sale items, if you're selling clothing or water bottles or sweatbands or things, that's cross-selling, right? Okay, that's cross-selling. Or you might want to upsell them, and maybe if you're selling personal training classes, or there may be special classes that you have in addition to your basic offerings. The point is here, you want to sell as much as you can, one, to keep them engaged, and two, you want them to you want your membership to be just such a part of their life that they wouldn't think of not renewing. And so that's how the cross-selling and the upselling is so important. And think of the different things that you can do and how you can keep your members engaged. So that's really retention. And retention is so important if you want to grow your business, because even though, and the attrition rate in the fitness business is anywhere from 75 to 80%. So if you think about it, what that means is with every 10 people that come through your door and sign up, within a year, 7 or 8 of them will not renew, or 7 or 8 of them will not come back. That's a very high rate. So if you think about that, if you can retain just even 10% more, what that will do for your growth rate and what that will do for your revenue in your studio or your gym. So in talking about this today, what I would like to visit at this point is just taking a look at the roadmap for prospecting and retention. And this is something where Club OS can really help. With Club OS, what we really do is we help take you through that whole journey, through that roadmap of starting off, first of all, with lead generation, starting and talking about prospecting. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Using such things as trial memberships. So if you have things as trial memberships, or you have maybe certain classes, you might let people try, let's say a yoga class, you might say, come on into this introductory class for free, and then getting them to be members. And then once again, that important thing, retention, and asking for referrals. We don't just want them to be members, we really want them to be advocates, and how important it is for that word of mouth referral that you want and the loyalty factor. So I would like right now to talk a little bit about Club OS and how we can help you in your marketing and how we can help you in that journey, in that roadmap to take someone from being a prospect to being a loyal advocate and a loyal member of your facility. So first of all, what is Club OS? And really just want to say, first of all, our mission statement. Our mission is to help every fitness and wellness business reach its goals. And I'll repeat that again. Our mission is to help every fitness and wellness business reach its goals. So whatever your goals are, we're here to help you to start. And the beginning is that marketing and that sales function. So really what we are, it's a customer relationship management tool and a training management platform. And the thing about our software is it was designed specifically for the fitness and wellness marketplace. Okay, so we know this marketplace, we live it, we breathe it, and it was designed specifically for fitness and wellness businesses. What we really do is we help you really simplify and streamline what are your day-to-day tasks for business owner or your managers or your staff or your front desk people. And things that we do, although they may seem like little things, they have a big impact. They have a big impact on your business and how you can manage it and the visibility you see into it and how you can really help in that marketing and that retention phase. So here are some of the things that you can do with our software. First of all, it is capturing leads, meaning starting at the top of that funnel and really capturing the information. We'll talk a little bit more about it in a minute. Also, sales appointment tracking and sales and retention follow-up and workflows. I think one of the most important things, and a lot of times we see people are actually doing things with slips of paper, or you get people coming in, you're writing things down, you lose slips of paper, your salespeople are trying to follow up. In this case, everything is automated. It's automated, you're capturing that important information, and it's allowing you follow-up workflows, which are so important, first of all, to close business, and then more importantly, talking again about retaining your members. We give you a way for those important communications, and communications is just paramount. We have email and text marketing campaigns that we'll talk a little bit more, very easy to use. We have trainer and client messaging. I think one of the biggest things here is the software also helps you with training sales and scheduling and also doing your commissions. And we'll talk about guest waivers. We have a guest digital waiver that is it helps with your legal requirements, but it also really helps you get all that prospect information. And then what we do is it's customizable and we configure it unique for each customer. The point is here, this isn't just a cookie cutter. We really want to get to know your business and we want to help you with what is most important and how you can most effectively use it. So I want to talk a little bit about what we can do and what Club OS does, and we didn't talk about, and in marketing this is so important, is segmentation. One of the things that we help you with today, segmentation is so important because personalization is vital. The personalization today, people want you to know them. They want you to know who you are. And do you really know who your client is? Do you know who your member is? Do you know who your ideal member is? Who is it? Are they men? Are they women? Are they both? Are they people of certain age ranges? Are they people of certain income? Do they live within a certain mileage of your facility? Do they come for fitness? Do they come for personal training classes? Do they want to be part of group activities? Are they families? Do you need to provide family-type facilities for them? What is it? And you want to be able to customize and personalize those things. So that's what part of the software does here. It helps you to segment, and you can filter. You can filter on things such as age, gender, their interests, what it is they're interested in. So that's part of what the software does for you. So first of all, it helps you to know who really is your membership base and who is it that you're trying to attract and bring into your facility. Next is, and I think this is one of the biggest things, and I think it is our biggest differentiator, but I think the most important, because it really is the top of the funnel, and this is our digital guest waiver. What it is, it works very nicely. If you have on an iPad, people come in, instead of having slips of paper everywhere, they come in, they put in their demographic information, meaning their name, their address, their phone number. So you're capturing all that important information prior to them becoming a member. It also serves a legal, it's the liability waiver, so you're satisfying a legal requirement, but it also gives you some information about them, such as there are questions there about what their interests are, what are their goals. Are they coming because they want to improve their health? Are they coming because they want to lose weight? Do they just want to build performance, etc.? So you get to learn a little something about them as well. And this is all captured then, and this is information then that is fed into your system that you have, that you can now communicate with them, and it allows you to get engaged with them. So that is the digital guest waiver. Very easy to use and very effective for the beginning of your funnel. The next thing is, and I can't really say enough about how important communications are. Communications both, and if you think back to that customer journey, all the different touch points, on average 13 different touch points till somebody actually makes a purchasing decision. So if you look at communications today and how important it is to know and want to know how they want to be communicated to. Here again, this can be generational. You know, baby boomers are more apt to want to receive an email or a phone call versus the millennials are more apt to want to receive a text message. So these are the kind of things, again, this is information you would have within the system. You would simply know, you would know your member base and your prospects, and what this allows you to do, allows you to, whether it is you need to call, whether it is you want to text them or do email follow-ups or do email or texting campaigns, you can. But the point is here, you can personalize things, you can customize them, and it's all in one platform. You're not using different platforms. You're not jumping in and out of different systems. It's all housed in one and very easy to use. The next is our drag and drop email builder. Many of you may use emails today. You might use systems such as Constant Contact or email or MailChimp. But here again, we have the same functionality. You can simplify subscriptions. Here again, you can communicate with your prospects or your members. You can also create templates. So the great thing here is you can create templates and cadences. The important thing here is creating cadences. So you might want to create an email for when someone just visits your facility. You want to be sure you're following up. You might want to create an email for when they become a member. You might want to create an email for when it's their birthday or when their membership is due, or maybe several months before, or if you have special offers, or here again, once again, if you want to ask for referrals. So the point is you can create these templates, and then you can also create campaigns on an ad hoc basis. But we do bulk texting as well as bulk email. The next thing really is training management. We also provide for you, and I think this is so important for trainers, for them to be able to communicate. It helps in scheduling. So first of all, you don't have classes that don't have people in them, or you don't have people that are double booked. So we have trainer communication. It also allows your trainer to communicate directly with their members, with their clients that are coming to their classes. So it's much more efficient. It provides visibility into your business, and it provides visibility into what is really happening in the business as far as your classes, so that you can really be much more effective in your scheduling, won't have mishaps. It really helps member satisfaction. It increases member satisfaction as well as satisfaction of your trainers. If you provide these types of tools for them, it makes their job much easier as well. So there's a whole training management package to it that, once again, is all integrated into one easy-to-use platform. And then lastly, what I will talk about is you may have a single location, which is great, or you may have more than one. So one of the greatest things about the software is if you have a multi-location, it helps you manage things across your different facilities. It's permission-based, so you can allow those people that need to see what they need to see, and those that don't, you don't have to. It builds consistency across your locations. It allows you flexibility for your management. So when you have multiple locations, you don't need to be everywhere to have visibility and see how things are being run and being sure that everything is running smoothly. And it also allows you to share best practices. So if you're doing something really great at one center and you want to use a certain best practice, you can do that across your enterprise much more effectively. So it also, here again, and whether you're a franchise operation or whether you're someone that just has your own multiple locations, or of course a single location is just as effective. So that's what ClubOS is. That's what we provide. We also provide reports, so you have visibility into the activity that's going on into your facilities. So with that, I will, Rachel, I will open up. I think we do have a few minutes here. If somebody would like to ask some questions, whether it be marketing-based or if it be something regarding ClubOS, I'd be happy to take a few questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We don't have any questions that have come through right now. Is there anything else that you want to share that you think would be beneficial?
I would say the only thing that I would want to share right now is because knowing that we have the big event coming up here in January, when I'm sure lots of, fitness centers are very busy because it's the busiest time of year, is to say that, communications are just so important. And once you garner that information from your prospects, to be able to communicate with them on a regular cadence, meaning with regular cadences, is just so crucial, and especially even with your own members. Sometimes I like to say, show them a little love too, and just send them an email. We just had the holiday. We just had Thanksgiving. One of the things that we even do is send an email showing our appreciation for our customers. And we say, we thank you for your business. Those types of communications go a long way in retaining people and also getting people to refer to you, which is still the way that probably most people are building their businesses, is probably through word of mouth. But today you have to use every advantage you can because things are very competitive. And frankly, the consumer is very, and I'll use the word fickle. I mean, consumers today, they know what they want. And if they don't get it, they'll go somewhere else. So to retain those members and keep them coming, you really need to be sure that you're staying top of mind.
Yeah. Well, we did have a few questions that came through as you were talking. The first one is, what advice do you have as far as encouraging members to adopt the use of a club's app for scheduling classes and appointments?
Okay, apps, very good. I would say probably the biggest thing, and when you do have an app, is to try to drive them to that app. It's one thing to get them to download the app, but I think to actually get them to use it is you've got to put things in that app that they are actually forced. So, for example, let's say if they want to schedule classes, right, which is probably one of the biggest reasons somebody would want to download an app, right? It's very easy, very simple to use, but you have to continue to try to drive them there. And the best way to try to drive them there is the more you put functionality in there that they need to use, the best that you can do that. I would say the other thing, too, to drive them there is be sure that even your own employees are using the app. one of the biggest things I see, and we all have apps, we all download them, right? We all have a ton of them. But I would say be sure that even your employees are very adept at using the app, that it's always top of mind, that they are always talking about the app. And if you're giving certain classes or if you have personal training classes, that you're actually forcing them to use it as well. The other way to try to get people to use it more is make it be part of your social media. If you're doing things with the app and you're driving them to the social media, if you can engage them that way as well, it's another way to just try for it to be top of mind.
All right, and then we had one other question. They were wondering if ClubOS had any plans to start offering a blast texting service.
Thank you for the question. Absolutely, we do, and it is coming in Q1 of 2019. I have all the marketing things in my inbox. I am chomping at the bit to put this out, but we are, and there will be a big splash about it, and it is coming soon. Yes, bulk texting, definitely. It will be in Q1 of 2019. We're only about 30 days away.
Awesome, super exciting. And then just
is.
one other question. Is ClubOS something that YMCAs could potentially find benefit from?
Absolutely. We would love to engage with YMCAs, definitely. We do business with some of them, and we absolutely would. So if whoever that is who's on the line, they can please feel free to contact me after this. We would absolutely be able to help them, and we would absolutely love to, certainly.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, those are all the questions I have. Thank you so much, Tammy, for taking the time to speak to our audience.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure, and I hope everybody at least had one little nugget of something that they can go and they can implement today. So thank you, everybody, for your time.
Yep, thanks, everyone. Everyone have a great rest of the day.
So long.